Hi, my name's Connor Hernandez, and I live with bipolar disorder, ADHD, anxiety, depression, and am a recovering drug addict. When I was a freshman in high school, I thought that I might be developing some form of ADHD. So I went up to my parents afterwards and I said, Mom, Dad, I think I have ADHD.
My reaction was twofold. A, I believed him, but B, I wanted to try and navigate that without medication.
So I turned to different amphetamines to increase my performance. I didn't tell my friends that I was using. I didn't tell any adult that I was using. It was a dark secret that I kept to myself.
It was junior year, and we didn't really know why his grades were improving because that's a really hard year, and he was very busy and very involved in clubs and activities. I don't know if the pressure of buying them off the streets became too much to him or if the addiction got stronger.
If I were to describe my mental health in high school in a few words, I would say broken, distraught, fake. So on the outside, I was, this grandiose, life of the party kind of guy. But on the inside, I was dying. In regards to college, it was pretty much the exact same thing. Doing whatever I wanted to make myself feel better when I was just failing my courses, failing myself, but hiding it the best I could. The 2-year-long depression following me failing out of college was filled with agony. Felt like I couldn't move, I couldn't get out of bed. I'd struggled to find the will to live. Eating was hard for me. Hygiene was brutal. At this point in time, I was still using, but it got worse and worse as it turned to buying drugs off the street.
There was overlap of him and I being home in the house at the same time, and I didn't want to be in the house. So I had a neighbor who lived across the street who knew the story. So I would go and I would park in her driveway and he didn't see my car, and I would sit in her house. I just couldn't handle the wrath and the manipulation and the anger, sometimes even the fear of how he would treat me.
I would attend outpatient programs. I had met with a psychiatrist there, and he informed me that he thought I had bipolar. And I was terrified. But in reality, I had no idea what bipolar disorder was. I just knew that it had a really bad connotation and stigma in society. He recommended me going to rehab, but I said there's no way I was going to go.
I wish I would have done so many things differently. One of the things I learned later from NAMI was that our loved ones will move when they are ready, and he clearly wasn't ready.
Leading up to the night of the accident, I went out with a bunch of friends and they bought me drinks. I had no money. And on my way home from the bars, I was not only drunk, but I was high as well. And the next thing I knew, I was running into a tree. The moment I woke up, I was somehow, by the grace of God, in my driveway.
Angels got him home that night.
I wasn't injured. I then went inside and my dad was sleeping on the couch and I was like, Dad, I messed up.
We said, you can't stay here anymore. Something has to change. What do you want to do? And he said, I think I need to go to the intensive program.
I felt so vulnerable. I had no other options.
He got home, landed at O'Hare, and if you've ever wanted to see the prodigal son play out, you would see it with him embracing my husband. Upon his arrival, the second thing that we did very quickly was get to the psychiatrist. And we said, now what do we do? And he said, run to NAMI DuPage.
If NAMI DuPage didn't exist, my family and I would still be in shambles, in my opinion. When I first was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, I was terrified and didn't want it. But now I embrace that mental illness and am able to combat it with different strategies that I've developed with NAMI DuPage.
Connor found himself the support that he needed, and my husband and I started into Family to Family, at that time 12-week class. And it was very nice to know that we were not alone. And then the time became right for us to go ahead and facilitate our own Family to Family class. It was great to facilitate, but I got so much back on top of what I facilitated.
NAMI DuPage had a critical role in the healing of myself and my mother's experience. I had broken every single bridge, burnt every honest particle in our lives. But eventually, once I got that trust back, it was the best feeling. My mom and my relationship now is genuine. We have a really good relationship now.
Although I'm super involved in NAMI, much of that is purely selfish because it continues to offer healing for me. I will keep NAMI DuPage in my pocket forever.
The biggest factor that I would say that I want people to get out of my story is hope. That you can do it, that you're not alone, that no matter what trials or tribulations that you go through, you can do it.